Welcome to another stimulus package update. In this video, we have a lot of things to cover because in some regards, there's been no progress whatsoever, and then in some aspects, there's actually been quite a bit of progress. Now, when you boil it down, there's really three key factors that are differentiating the Democrats from the Republicans. Of course, there's a lot of things that they disagree on, but these are the three main factors. Number one, the enhanced unemployment benefits. That is the $600 per week extra federal payment that expired on July 31st. Then you have 5-year liability shield for businesses to protect them from lawsuits. And then you have additional state and local funding from the government. I'm curious what you think should be included in the next stimulus package down below. What are your priorities? What do you want to see in the next package from both Democrats and Republicans? So do you want the good news or the bad news first? Let's start off with the good news. The good news is surrounding really the key main focal point of the next stimulus package because both parties do agree on the stimulus check. It's really surrounding the enhanced unemployment benefits, and Mitch McConnell, out of nowhere, has now expressed full support to extend the $600 federal payments every single week. You heard that correctly. McConnell is now, quote, prepared to support the next stimulus package, even if it includes extending the $600 a week enhanced federal unemployment benefits. Now, the only caveat here is that McConnell said he would be only prepared to support it if Trump also supports extending the benefits. The HEALS Act that was recently proposed, and I also covered in another video, I'll link it down below in the description, that HEALS Act would have given someone what they made before they were laid off 70% of their income. So in a very substantial compromise, apparently McConnell would be willing to scratch that and just go with the extension of the $600 benefits, but if President Trump is willing to express support for it and back it, and ultimately sign it into law. Democrats have fervently pushed to extend that $600 benefit. They don't want to go any lower than that $600 number. However, they are willing to compromise depending on what the unemployment rate looks like. The unemployment rate in June wasn't as bad as April's numbers. In June, it was 11.1%. In April, it was 14.7%. That surpassed what it was during the Great Depression. Democrats were rather strict on that $600 number, but now Pelosi said that she is flexible and did say that I think that the number, the $600, is related more to the unemployment rate. If the unemployment goes down, then that number can go down. But Pelosi did continue and express that the extra enhanced unemployment benefits are absolutely necessary. She added, quote, a building is on fire and they are deciding how much water they want to have in the bucket. This is very important. Millions of people could have fallen into poverty without the $600. And obviously, as we have covered countless times on this channel, the Democrats did pass in the House on May 15th the HEROES Act that would have extended the $600 benefits all the way through the end of January. However, this package never got a vote in the Senate, and therefore it's basically been thrown in the dust. However, some additional good news. Trump does now sound like he would be in favor of extending the $600 benefits, but perhaps for only an abbreviated amount of time. In fact, he recently bashed Senator Schumer for blocking a bill that would have temporarily extended the $600 benefits. Schumer didn't want that because he wanted a total permanent extension of it for a very extended long period of time. But Trump said in a tweet recently, quote, very disappointed at Senator Schumer for blocking the temporary extension of the $600 benefits. He said, they do not think Democrats are more interested in playing politics than in helping our deserving people. Senator Schumer did back his reasoning for not backing that 1-week extension. He had said that the extension did not adequately reflect the, quote, gravity of the problem. And it shows how Republicans, quote, don't realize how big the bill has to be. Now, McConnell did feel compelled to remind us that there would not be a total consensus among Republicans because so many Republicans do not support any additional stimulus, and so this bill would have to be a bipartisan proposal. So we do have that piece of good news. McConnell is willing to give in and extend the $600 benefits in an effort to compromise, and Trump would possibly be even willing to support that. However, we do have some bad news to cover here. Now, in case you have forgotten, Friday, August 7th, is supposed to be the deadline for when this bill is supposed to be reached, as that's when Congress is supposed to go off for a long time vacation until Labor Day. And clearly not a shocker. I think we could have easily predicted this. They're not going to meet that deadline. For days, Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin and White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows have been meeting with Chuck Schumer and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, trying to get the two sides closer on this next massive stimulus bill. Pelosi mentioned, quote, I feel optimistic that there is light at the end of the tunnel, but how long that tunnel is remains to be seen. White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows expressed that there are no top-line numbers that have been agreed to. We continue to be trillions of dollars apart. But Congress does seem to be willing to cut some of their vacation time and stay just a little bit longer for the American people because they could complete these negotiations by the end of this week, if possible, and then next week they could very well vote on this package. Not too long ago, there was a self-imposed deadline of Congress of July 31st, and no package was agreed upon then. So we could see an extension of the agreement and negotiations and finally a vote on this bill well into mid-August. But that would mean bridging a multi-trillion-dollar chasm between the two parties within just a matter of days. And after that 3-hour meeting Thursday evening between senior administration officials and Democratic leaders yielded little progress, as both sides seemed resigned to the likelihood that Congress won't reach a major stimulus deal amid an economic crisis. Both sides emerged from the meeting trading blame for the sputtering talks, and administration officials warned that President Trump would even take executive action if no deal is reached by Friday. Pelosi said, quote, "We had a consequential meeting that was one way we could see the difference in values that we bring to the table." Pelosi even said that Mark Meadows slammed his hand on the table. Mark Meadows immediately denied that he did that. He said, quote, "I don't know what she's talking about." Pelosi did express, quote, "We are very far apart. It's most unfortunate." Schumer said, "We are very disappointed in the meeting. They were unwilling to meet in the middle." Both sides characterized the other's willingness to compromise in conflicting ways. Mark Meadows said that the compromises that he and Steve Mnuchin put forward were significantly greater than the compromises that we saw from the other side of the negotiating table. Whereas when Senator Schumer, minority Senate leader, was asked if they were willing to meet us in the middle, he had said no, and it has to be mostly in our direction. They were unwilling to meet us in the middle. Meadows added that he does have a glimmer of hope a deal can be reached. And regarding the benefits, Schumer had mentioned, quote, "Why dismantle a program that almost all economists say is working and put something new in its place that will take months to go into effect?" But negotiations have not stopped, as per the direction of the president. Mnuchin had even said, quote, "Our objective is to try to reach an overall understanding tomorrow. If the Democrats are willing to compromise and do something, I think we'll get something done." According to Mnuchin, the president himself was called many times throughout these meetings to be updated on what's going on. Now, Mnuchin did say that the president's first choice is to have House and Senate members agree on a package by themselves, but if they cannot do that and cannot reach an agreement sooner than later, then the president will be forced to step in and take executive action on his own. So right now, we're basically waiting for any additional updates and progress through Congress regarding the next stimulus package. Some progress has been made, but there's still a long way to go in these negotiations. It appears to be unlikely that the HEALS Act in its current form would be what's signed into law. However, we could expect the variation to ultimately end up being the law of the land. But rest assured, you will be able to find any and all updates on this channel, and of course the bill, the final bill that is eventually passed into law. You're going to be finding all of those updates every step of the way on this channel. So be sure that you are subscribed. You're not going to miss any future updates. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure that you give the video a big thumbs up. Just smash that like button for me so that way more people can see videos like this, because the YouTube algorithm will push it to more people. So I do appreciate it when you do that. And if you'd like to see more videos from my channel, I do post videos every single week covering business, finance, investing, entrepreneurship, mindset, strategy, and tips and tricks from my own experience. Be sure that you do subscribe, and if you'd like to be notified every single time I make a new video, so that you're first line to see it before anyone else, do be sure that you click that little notification bell as well, so that you're notified every single time I make a new video. Looking forward to seeing you in the next one.